Hi, Kim Morrison here, creator and founder of 28. Well, this week was a pretty special one really, considering it was the 100th anniversary of Anzac Day, Gallipoli. And I have to say I've never been to a dawn parade here in Australia, in Mooloolaba. So I got my two beautiful teenagers up and about and off we went down with friends to this incredibly poignant and very, very quiet, beautiful beach celebration. Now it was interesting because I took some time to really ponder about things like my grandfather and how he died when I was 1 from war wounds, and just wondered what it must have been like for those mothers back then in World War I and II, even wars of today, what it must be like for mums to send their sons away. You know, I took one look at my gorgeous 15, nearly 16-year-old son, and I can see all his cockiness and confidence and all the beautiful things that 16-year-old boys hold. But I also pictured putting him in a war zone, and I just know that there must have been the complete frailty, the vulnerability, the fear and terror these young people must have endured. And one of the songs even said, for those that did survive, the shell shock was so bad that they may have been better off dead. And then I started wondering, why do we even have wars? What is it all about? And after I put a post on Facebook, I noticed that a number of people came back saying, well, Kim, it's politics, religion, money, wealth. That's why we go to war. Someone else wrote, they fought for our freedom. And then I've seen other posts of people saying, you know, it wasn't as romantic and as idealistic as we're all making out, and that we are tending to make it something more spectacular than what it was. It was hideous. And I don't know where I sit. All I know is I wish that we could all just get along and be kind and actually really revere and honor one another. But then I thought about that deeper, and I realized that, my gosh, we don't even get along with ourselves, let alone anybody else. You think about the conversations that go on in your head at times around what you think of you. You're too fat, too short, too tall. Your hair's too long, too short, too curly. Your tummy's too fat, your butt's too big, your boobs are too saggy. I don't know, whatever story, you're never good enough. And we tend to have these conversations, these wars going on between our two ears daily. So then I thought, well, how on earth can I expect us to be amazing, upstanding citizens that won't go to war when we do it constantly on a daily basis with ourselves? Then I started really thinking, what would it take to stop that? I mean, could we all really truly be like a Mother Teresa, where we thought nothing but kindness and no judgment of others? And then I realized the importance of polarity. We need dark to understand light. We need to understand cold in order to understand heat. That without these polarities, maybe without war, we actually wouldn't know what peace was. So perhaps rather than fighting these constant battles in our own heads of not feeling good enough or not being ever good enough in ourselves or with others, maybe it's time to sit at peace. That it's okay to honor those thoughts, that they come up every now and again. Because maybe what we should do when they come up is go, thanks for the reminder. I know I'm thinking I'm pretty fat or ugly or not right just now, but thanks for the reminder, because I'm going to go to the other extreme and remind myself how beautiful and amazing and clever and witty and amazing mum, father, mother, brother, wife, whatever the role is that we play. Maybe it's time to stop that war within and realize that when those conversations come up, because we can't stop them, maybe it's time to actually turn it into an anchor to remember all the good things about ourselves. Is it too big a hope to think that if we were kind with ourselves, there wouldn't be war within our homes, there wouldn't be war within our communities, our countries, and with the world? Or am I just being too idealistic? I don't know. But as I sit here in this beautiful part of the world, just after school drop-off, and I'm sitting there thinking of my children and how hideous that would have been to have sent them off to war, how grateful I am that I live in a place that really has freedom, absolutely personified. And I really cannot understand what our forefathers and mothers went through. So this week, in honor of those who have served, in honor of those still serving, and in honor of the hope that one day we could all be at peace, then I say to you this: please find a moment this weekend to be really kind to yourself. It might be the facial that we organised or suggested last week with the mask. It might just be sitting quietly in a bath with some beautiful essential oils, listening to some classical music. It might be writing loved ones notes. It might be just putting a note in your children's lunchbox to let them know how grateful you are that they're here. I don't mind what it is, but let's put out the challenge to do something kind and nice for others this weekend. let's really embrace the kindness to ourselves. So on that note, I hope you enjoy this week's newsletter. I hope you find a place and a way that you can share below how kind you've been, or what someone else has been kind to you. Maybe through us constantly reconnecting in and suggesting to others that we do this, maybe we might create new neurochemical loops in our brains that kindness overrides fear, terror, war, battle. And maybe, just maybe, this weekend you can go for a whole 48 hours of being 100% truly loving and kind to yourself. Give it a shot. I am. And I'll see you next week. Be kind. Take care.